What's Oh, it's loud. Yeah, it's already loud.
All right.
What destination? Hold on one second. Let me
Yeah. What's up, y'all, man? What's up, Nose?
All right, I'm here. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sharing them in some groups right now.
All right, bro. This is wild. Wow, 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 wow. Got people coming into the comments. We got 21 people watching right now. Um, Still let people please share at tag people. Um, I don't think this one's gonna go as long as the last one. The last ones have gone. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not even. I don't. I'm not even mad anymore.
Yeah, at this
Like
point, that last week was the last week I got mad. Like last week, I was pissed. This week
yeah,
is, yeah, man. It is what it is. If we wake up and get us a win, then it was a great day for me.
right. Like I mean, I'm gonna start off by saying this, and I'm gonna call my partner later tonight and congratulate him on the win. But did you know that there's a Noel on Louisville staff?
No, I ain't know that. Who?
Yeah, Derek Nicholson. His brother was AJ. His brother came in the same recruiting class as me,
Okay.
and AJ. I mean, Derek was the younger brother, played linebacker here. Um, Back in like he came in '05, so '05 to '09. Pretty good player. Good young coach. Doing really good things at Louisville. Was at was Alcorn State, I believe.
Okay.
He was there for a little bit. Then when that staff went from Alcorn to Southern Miss, he kept moving with with that. So and he called me yesterday, and he was just like, because what I always tell people this is like, for whatever reason, all the old heads call me, and they're like, "Hey man, what the hell is going on over there?" And he said one of the realest statements, and what I think people don't even understand is that how proud us Bowden guys are of the program is that no matter what we're doing, there's a respect and a love for what it is that was built or that we were a part of. Because he was more of a part of than built. And he said, man, at this point, man, I'm ashamed to tell people that I even played there. Like, and he asked me some other questions and told me some stuff. Um, and it's like, and I say this not in jest, but I say this like because it's not their like. Here's what I want to say: it's the fans' fault for a lot of the back and forth trolling that people get. It's the players and coaches' fault for the product that's on the field. It's the expectations came because everybody hated tag so much that we put all of our hopes and dreams in the great white hope. And just like in boxing and everything else, that never works. Like we needed to let this man be his own man and be his own coach. Like y'all put Bobby on this man, y'all put all these different things, man. And like it's like, y'all put some you got this man chasing ghosts, almost like what Manny Diaz is dealing with down in Miami. But it's he talks about my coach Marvell talks a lot about making former players proud, making former players proud, and I hear that, I hear that, I hear that. I'm not even necessarily concerned about wins and losses as much as I'm about how it just looks, how these guys don't look prepared on the field. Like, and I know these coaches know what they're doing. There's a disconnect somewhere though. Like, I can know that you know what you're doing, but if it doesn't show on the field, you're actually get fired, right? Like, you can know everything is about your profession. You like if I tell you in a non-threatening, non intense environment, yo, show me woo woo woo, and you can show me woo woo woo. But if you go out on the field and people can't execute, then it's terrible. It's like I don't know if you've ever read. I'm well read. People don't. I'm not as ignorant as people think I am. I like to joke and I like to like laugh and things. But trust me, I didn't graduate college in 3 years for no reason. But there's a book called The Art of War that I actually read in high school that I absolutely love. It's an amazing strategy book. Sun Shu, or however you say his name, I won't lie, I ain't well versed in Mandarin. I just like to read. American, not even English, American. But if you really understand linguistics, you know that there's a difference. Um, there's a scene where he comes to the king and he tells the king that I can make any army more efficient. And he says, I'll believe it. How about you take my concubines and you show me how you can make my concubines effectively march. So he appointed, and the guy had like thousands of concubines. So he split them up into three groups, appointed three concubines, his three favorite concubines. And I may be kind of butchering it, but it's been some years. But his three favorite concubines, he made them the leaders. He showed the three concubines exactly what he wanted their group to do. And it was their job to teach. So they laughed. They taught the group, and then because they thought it was a game, and they messed it up. So he said, okay, well, maybe it was I wasn't effective in communicating what my orders were. So he took the concubines again, and he communicated, showed them again what he wanted. They went back and taught them, and then they did it again, and they messed it up. So do you know what he did after that? He cut the heads off of the three main concubines. The king was, whoa, what are you doing? They're my favorite bitches. How could you cut the head off my favorite bitches? What the hell's wrong with you? Took three more, showed them what happened, what needed to be done. And you know what the other group did? They fucking did the drills to perfection. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it, is really what the theme was in all of that. So when I see guys consistently jump off sides in bad situations, when I see guys do things, yeah, some of that is coaching, some of it is players, but it's a combination in all these losses and putting guys in terrible positions. Why do you have a one-legged man trying to scramble for his life and try to run? Like that's not his thing. It's not his game. Mackenzie Milton can't do it, and coach needs to tell him that, like, yo, your ass got to get rid of the ball and you drop, or they got to call better packages. So it's like I'm not gonna subscribe to the idea because I've seen them live that a lot of these other podcasts, because I think it's excuses that we don't have the talent. Okay, maybe we don't have the talent to beat Florida, right? Are you trying to tell me we don't have the talent to beat Jacksonville State? Like, yeah, real talk. Like, are you really trying to tell me that? Like, and fans who don't subscribe to inside drills aren't in the fifth quarter, and in all of these other pay places, like, are you really paying money for people to play with your intelligence? Like, are you really paying money for people to tell you that you're stupid? Because guess what? And this is what my college coaches friends tell me. Now they're young in the game, and maybe they young and dumb. Name me the FSU player on that roster outside of the transfer from an FCS school that did not have multiple Power 5 offers. Like, if you got multiple Power 5 offers, man, that shit, it's not Space Jam, man. The aliens didn't just come in and zap your powers away to create a football team that's going to magically that's going to fight us for Earth. Right. Like, you don't lose that shit. What they've lost is confidence, but that is right. You don't believe in the coaches. You don't believe in yourself. You listen to fans. You listen to press clippings, which I think is all a problem. But there's talent on that field, regardless of what you see and what you hear. Because I know for a fact that there's like at least 6 of those guys that everybody was saying, oh, I hope he transfers out. I don't like him anyway. Other Power 5 schools want it. And check this out right here. Look at all the kids who's transferred out. What are they doing right now? They flourishing. DJ's flourishing. The D tackle, I can't think of his name, for NC State, got a sack against Clemson.
Corey Durden.
Yeah, Corey Durden. You got basically Myron Rolle Jr. is up in Boston College right now, ripping it up. Would be. You got kids that are actually doing things that were here, that were starters, that stunk here. but they're doing well in other places. So when you take those things and it's not transient property per se. Again, I'm trying to use my education here. You can deduce using deductive reasoning that maybe it's something in the water at Florida State. And I'm not blaming coaches. I just think I'm starting to think that it's something deeper than that. Like I don't know if we curse it. As I had a friend who's a Gator say, we need to like put some sage on the end of that spear that's burning, and like just cleanse it of bad juju. But I mean, we've spent more money, we've got more support. You had the fans backing you, and every day that we do, Warren Thompson was balling. Yeah, every day we come here and we lose, we're doing more. But I really think a lot of it has to stem around we just really love drama. And Bobby had this thing locked and loaded because he had the same staff for decades. Like them was his people. You weren't talking to his people, and if you leaked something, they weren't gonna talk to you again because Bobby's going. He might not curse you out, he'll bless you out, as the Christians do. Jimbo, same thing. Jimbo had y'all boys on social media lockdown. It wasn't like all this stuff. As just like have you realized that we haven't heard one outside of if you talk to players, you ain't seen one message board or any podcast where the guys are saying that Mike Norvell is trying to call plays. Mike Norvell's going crazy. Mike Norvell's cussing people out. The coaches don't like each other. The players don't like each other. This, that, and the other, right? Don't you find that odd that 0-14 doesn't have any of that?
Yeah.
But a winning team had like every day it was just like it was articles written, podcasts. It's just odd. I'm not making this anything what it is. I'm just saying it's odd, and we're trying to spin something because we all like Mike, but the reality is the product is putrid, and I don't know I don't know what people want from people from. I don't know. I can't be. I love Ira to death. Chauffeur. I can't be Ira. I can't be these other. My degree says Florida State. Getty Images, when you Google my name, pops up pictures of me scoring touchdowns, running through people's face masks. I don't. It does. It just doesn't look like what of any era, including the past one. It doesn't look. It's. I will say, like Johnson is a player that I believe could play. I think Amari Gainer is playing decently. Deloach is playing decently. Honestly, I want to give 3 props because he kind of fought himself back from having some bad games to actually making some plays this game that actually helped. Corbin, not when I played, but Corbin and Ward could probably play on maybe some of those teams after me. They wouldn't have been good enough to play. Like they weren't better. They're not better than Booker, Leon, Washington, and that's no disrespect to them. That's just those guys were really, really good. We had some dogs, but I'm just trying to find, and it's not that those guys aren't any good. It's just I don't even think it's their talent. Like I remember when I first met Amari Gainer at Ernie Sims football camp. I told him, I said, y'all are. Actually, I was talking to him, but he was a early enrollee as a freshman, and I was just telling Woodby was there. I was telling all of them. I was like, yo, y'all are way more talented than the teams that I played with. We beat you guys by 35. Y'all just aren't tough. It's like that's just really just what it is. You're not tough mentally, and I don't know how to get to that, but I know a lot of it now, like 3 years ago, there was no excuse. Now I get what Marvin said. If you haven't listened to, if you're really, really you're on the edge, you're ready to jump off the top of dope right now, go back and listen to the Inside Drills with Marvin Jones. Like, listen to what the OG said. I don't agree with everything that he said, but what he did is within respect. It's dope. So I don't know, man. What did you? I stopped. I kind of like piecemeal the second half, and it looked better in the second half. But I couldn't watch it after this. Like I couldn't watch it.
The first half
was making me mad.
First half was terrible. I mean, we got that drive at the end of the first half to get a score, but it was terrible on the defensive side. We couldn't get a stop, and then the defense stepped up in the second half. And I think coming in that fourth quarter, not going for it on that fourth down was huge. because at that point we had all the momentum, and you have a kicker that had been struggling. If I'm not mistaken, he had missed the kick earlier in the game, I think. And I just think, a coach, you live and die with that. That's the life of a coach. But I think in that situation, you have to go for it because your team has momentum and they're rolling. Corbin has a wide open play before he drops it, but you see that we're getting open consistently and we're moving the ball. So I think in that point you have to go for it. And you just seen at that point the team, like the competitive drive kind of died down a little bit. The defense is still fighting, but the next drive the offense came out, it wasn't the same fire that it was when they were making that run. And I really think that moment in the game kind of changed everything. Yeah, we scored later on the field goal, but I felt like at that point it was too late. And I just, in my head, I was like, man, we ain't gonna pull this game out. That was our play to go for it on fourth went down and got a score. And it's just the small things. Every single game, like Jacksonville State, Notre Dame, you can't have that. And it's consistently becoming a problem. And now we're 0-4. So at this point, we got to figure out what it is. Like, it's a combination of both players and the guys not being in the right spots, making mistakes, like the penalty early in the game when the guy pushed the guy out of bounds. Like, in that situation, just let him go out of bounds. Like, we get you trying to make your imprint on the game, but the guy's already going out of bounds. No point in touching him. I think it was a BS call. He's one of those guys that gets called for that a lot. So, and then putting the guys in the right situations. Some of those calls, I think the fourth down we went for later in the game, I think that was them trying to make up for the time they didn't go for the fourth down earlier. When we had the direct snap, I think they were trying to make up for it then. So it's just a combination of stupid penalties and us not putting guys in the right spot. But we got to get it figured out.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, there are the difference between this and last week is that there are some. One, I believe maybe Wake Forest is a better team than we all thought.
Yeah, they will.
And I'm not going to still excuse it, but I'll give I'm doing that more in respect to Wake Forest, like than I am for us. Louisville, positives, 7 stops, 7 consecutive. I mean it was because they didn't score in the second half, did they?
Yeah, they didn't score.
So we shut them out the entire second half. Guys, stop talking about Fuller. Stop it. He may or may not be here. The reality is this, man. He shut them out in the second half, and we couldn't take advantage of it. Now, the stuff that means somebody, whether you believe it was Fuller, you believe it was Randy Shannon, who can't stop the spread either, regardless who you think it is, they did enough to be able. The defense did its job for us to be able to win that game, and they were also put in some very bad situations. Going for the fourth down inside of our 40, which we, it's a consistent thing that we do instead of. It's cool to do that in the AAC, right? In the AAC, offense is prevalent. It's high scoring games. Big boy football, more pro style football, you got to play field position just like you play offense. Field position is probably one of the least talked about things. That's why having a punter is deadly. And like you gotta pin people, make them. Like I was like in my high school game that I was coaching at. The kids were wondering why we ran a certain package on our 3-yard line, and I was like, "There's just not a lot of good plays coming out of your own end zone. Like you got to get to the 10-yard line because now you have more room for error. It just makes you feel more comfortable as an offensive play caller because there's nowhere to run. Like you can't go backwards, and you can't if you're in the end zone, you can't get a penalty because if you get a penalty, that's a safety. It's just not a lot of things. So you're putting more pressure on Satterfield and staff to be able to prove they can beat you. But your defense, besides all of that, still fought it, right? The guys did fight back a little bit. Here's the key stat, man. And this is what bothers me. So people wonder. So for people who don't know, I call Kendall Browse a hoe. Now the hoe balling now at Arkansas, but he listening to Sam Pittman though. So the reason why I call him a hoe is because he kept running to journalists and telling them that Tag was calling the offense. Only when the offense was bad. But the defense was running around saying that Tag was calling the defense. Which in high school that doesn't make sense. In college it's impossible to be able to do that because what's happening? What are we doing when the defense is on the field? What are we typically doing on offense? At least in the beginning, we're going over what happened when we're good or bad. So if you're calling the offense, you have to be with the offense. What happens with the defense when the offense goes on the field and the defense comes off of the field? The defense is so. I just tell people like just by writing that dumb shit, it doesn't sound like it's the only people who would write that are people who have never done that shit before. Like it just doesn't make sense. But that's neither here nor there because it's not about Tag. But Browns was one of the people who was putting that shit in people's head. And only thing I can think of is that when we were up by 31, like what Louisville did, and Louisville actually, their OC said, shit, we're up. Ain't nothing working. Let's at least kill some of the clock. Because then it becomes a time of possession game. And your best player was Cam Akers. Run the damn ball. OC telling you to run the damn ball ain't calling plays. You call whatever. You call the play. He's just telling you what he wants done. And you know what you're supposed to do when your boss tell you to do something? Do that shit with a smile on your face. Sam Pittman tells him what the fuck to do. He has embraced it. Like so, Sam Pittman's turned a hoe into a housewife. Tag just couldn't turn a hoe into a housewife. But when I say that to say, there was a point when Josh Corbin, I think that's his name, right? Josh, right? Anyways, whatever. Corbin, 0. 4 carries. He only had 4 carries. You know how many yards this man had when he only had 4 carries?
Well, like
96. Like it don't take an offensive genius to say we should probably get this guy the ball more. The entire season, Corbin and Ward have shown you that they are worthy of being the only running backs. Just keep feeding them motherfuckers. Stop putting other people in there. Fuck their feelings. It's part of the game. Get better in practice. In this situation, you got to put the people that you know are going to produce.
Even with
we
that,
need to win.
I seen a situation where DJ Williams came in, and I think in 2 carries he had 9 yards, and then the next play we're throwing the bubble screen. Like,
so even like that, so Corbin breaks a big run, and I'm a proponent of you break a big run, you got to take a break because you got to get a breather, and then like take a break off and come back. But that's when you put Williams in or put Ward in. Put those 3 passes with the guy who's got a. With all, because the boy ain't got a strong arm, man. He don't. Like, I know the story is dope, man. The story is great. No matter what happens this season, it should still make for a good Disney movie. Matter of fact, I'll put the money behind it and make it a low-budget movie if nobody else does your story, Mackenzie Miller. It's amazing that you're even walking, let alone playing football. Feel-good stories don't win games, man. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, actually, let me rephrase that. I care about that. I don't fuck about that in regards to winning at Florida State. Like, you can't scramble. You can't throw it. It's just like, look, it's things you're struggling. It's things you're struggling to do within the offense. It's not that you're not any good. It's just, obviously, we aren't putting them in the best position. Like, and when you have a running game that's really doing that without Jordan Travis, who actually makes it even better because now one guy has to respect the quarterback. It just makes things so much better. And it's amazing how it takes us to get down by a lot of points to start doing the common sense shit. And it's a combination between players not making play. And we've got to figure out, one of those guys got to say, I want to make money. Like, I don't need that. I don't need the tweets. I want to buy my mama a house. I need to see the play. I want to buy my mama a house. Because, we got to find that guy. You said what?
I said they lying to moms right now.
Well, no. Right now, mama going to keep renting. And I'm actually, right now, I want to tell y'all, mama's straight. Mama been doing it this long. Like, don't even worry about that right now. You need to worry about it if you're going to have a job next year. Like, you're not playing to go to the NFL. You're playing to work at UPS. Because you're not effective. You're not blocking. we're not consistently, doing these things, and yes, it's a combination between coaches and players, but again, you know, a lot of it is I'm moving on past what people have said in the past and just really just focusing on what the present is. But a lot of you are getting hell right now because of how you gave people hell. Like you said, you either coaching it or allowing it. And you said it when we were winning 5 and 7 games, 5 and 6 games. But you're not saying that when we 0-4. And we've dropped one. Only one of those games was supposed to be a loss. The other 3 was supposed to be one was supposed to be a guaranteed win. And 2 of them were kind of like toss-ups to like where you can see where you're at. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of Notre Dame, we've seen 3 straight games where I can't say if the roles were reversed that we wouldn't win that game. Yeah. I can't say if Jacksonville State's coaching staff had our players that they wouldn't have beat our staff with Jacksonville State's players. I can't say that if Wake Forest's staff had our players that they might not mercy rule our players. I mean mercy rule Wake Forest. I can't say that if Derek Satterfield was our coach that we wouldn't have beat Louisville. And I love Travis Hunter. I can't wait. I pray that Travis Hunter and the guy who looks like the boy from training, the guy from the Mexican from training, the quarterback, Duffy, AJ Duffy. I pray that those guys stay. But you can't keep losing like this and every week basically asking these kids to reaffirm their commits. Because this is what's going to happen. Like kids are respectful for the most part. Yes, sir, no, sir. Until they realize that, hey, I'm an adult now. It's going to be a lot of angry fans on early signing period if we don't start telling these guys the truth or we don't start actually making the product fit what it is we do. And as a fan base, outside of the victories, I'm going to tell you this. For you guys who keep going after Mike, I respect it, understand it. I understand you're angry. Tag ain't coming back. They're probably not firing him. Keep being mad. Keep it to the wins and losses. 100% understand it. We got every reason to be that way. Keep it to the wins and losses. But we got to support if we want to get ourselves out of this. To the guys who say you like Mike Norvell, that stadium was disrespectful to trying to get the program back on track. It was if it was 30,000, that's a stretch. Like, if you don't want your damn tickets, give like that. And let me put this in perspective. That means that there are people who actually have tickets that didn't show up to the game. Like, I actually do a ticket. If you're not going to Syracuse, give me your tickets. I'll make sure some families and some kids who ain't never been inside of Doak Campbell Stadium is going to be in there. We're not going to get. I'm just telling you the truth. We're not going to get out of this situation by fucking boycotting. And you ain't got shit else to do on a Saturday, man. At least go get an overpriced hot dog. Go do something like help us get recruits to come in here and change the situation, because I do believe Hunter and Duffy coming no matter what. I believe a lot of these guys are coming no matter what they see playing time. But it's very difficult because I'm gonna tell you this: Bama had the private jet up in Atlanta last week, like on Friday. And Saban, old, like Denzel said, I'm an old school player. When I come in here, I'm leaving with something now. Like, that's what Saban's saying. Saban ain't coming just to chill out, man.
And that's really the only thing I feel like that's holding our recruiting class together right now. Travis Hunter. A lot of those just want to come play with him. And if we have a situation where some chink in the armor, he start thinking about going another way, it's gonna get ugly for this recruiting class because we ain't got the results on the field. I think he's one of those guys that he just grew up his whole life wanting to play for Florida State. But if he gets to that point, like you said, they realize I'm a man. Like, all right, because I grew up a Miami fan, but it was a point in time. It was like, man, I gotta take care of moms. I remember when she had to split a cheeseburger. So if Miami ain't got what we need, we going somewhere else. They played with me, so we went to Florida State. He gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, man, if Florida State can't help me take care of my family, help me accomplish my goals, like I'm gonna have to look at some other options. And if it comes to that point, the recruiting class is gonna get scared.
Yeah, man. So, other than that, man, I ain't got nothing else, man. I'm about to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday.
Yeah, sure. We just chilling. I got this new 2K, so if y'all are on 2K PlayStation 4, we trying to get a P5. So if you know somebody with P5, hit me up. But P4, send me your gamer tags. We going to the rec tonight.
That's basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. All right, bro. Well, anyways, guys, inside drills. Unfortunately, with another loss, I ain't got no answers. But we'll have a cool. Are we gonna do the 30? We're gonna do the weigh-in package on Wednesday.
Yeah, we can. Only thing is, we got to try to figure out. I'm gonna hit Lundy and try to figure out his schedule. I know he be kind of running around, so we're gonna.
We'll figure out the schedule.
He's free, but I definitely want to get him on next week.
Yeah, we'll do that. It'll either be us two or probably be Lonnie. Get in there and try to figure out why the hell we have all these short yardage situations and no goddamn fullback. Because if you want to win, you just got to get the ball to the goddamn fullback. So,
for real.
All right, man. Y'all be blessed. Check us out, please. Like, tag somebody, subscribe to the YouTube channel on Sports. They were trying to get over 1,000 for unique content. Check all of our stuff out. Y'all. Hey, don't let this destroy your whole weekend. We still got plenty of time left on this Saturday. We got a whole Sunday. Hey, if you want to help Florida State, go fornicate, have a baby, and help our recruiting class in later days. Especially, match up with somebody. If you're a good athlete, or if you're a woman that's tall, match up with an athlete. Let's try to self-recruit our recruiting class. Try to help this thing out down the years down the road. I don't know how to solve this shit. And stop being so damn soft on your kids, man. So oh God, and I gotta cover the Jags. I gotta watch the Jags. Fuck. At least my high school team, my son's I-9 team won. So, all right, man. I'll let you know.
All right.